Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as the sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. What's going on, family? Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. We're going to introduce the crew. We got Hink in the basement, Sweeney, Sir Hale, B. Madden, Purple Pill Pod, Luis, Shannon Rawls, myself, I'm Lapeef J.I. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Salute, brother JR, man. How are you? Salute to the brothers on the panel and the chat. What's going on, y'all?
Everybody, man.
I'm just concerned about Sweeney.
Appreciate you.
Dog, man. You okay, Sweeney?
Right. Sweeney in the dark.
Yeah. I thought something was going on with Sweeney.
Oh, you know Sweeney, man. Sweeney, he likes to do these grand interests sometimes.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Welcome back, Sweeney. Hank thought you was going to the dark side, but not today. Stayed on the right side today.
We can't hear you.
No, there's light too damn bright, man. I had to turn that shit down until it's time.
Man, your mic is too loud too.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, crank it down a little bit, man. My apologies, man. I should have did a proper sound check, man. That came in hot. Besides that, or you might have had it low and then you turned it up.
What about now?
No, it still sound the same, man.
What about
it's
now?
Just me. Yeah, it sound better.
All right.
Sound better, yeah. You sound like Paradise Paris for a second. Yeah, the tone of her voice down a little bit on the edits, man. It's,
Sweeney, hopefully you share the mic more than she does, big brother. Can you do it for us?
Oh man,
I try not to talk too much.
Starting early. Well, it's good to see you brothers again. Welcome to King Talk. Shout out to the sponsor, TJ Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. Make sure you guys click that link that's in the description and feel a tease, as I always say. It's important for men to make sure that their skin is maintained, especially when you get older in age. An old soul looks good with smooth skin. So, feel a tease. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and go ahead and share the stream. Share the stream right now. We are just getting started, and I'm pretty sure Sir Hale, Shannon, and the rest of the panel will be cooking. So go ahead and get my mama's cooking. I had to throw that in, man. Laugh at my jokes, man. If you guys laugh, then the audience will laugh. But if you guys go stale, then I look stale. So I'm not trying to look like that today. Not on a Tuesday, not on King Talk. Maybe Thursday, but not on King Talk.
Not on King Talk.
Yeah, we got your back.
Okay. That's what I like to hear, man. Brothers sticking together, unite. Right on. There you go. See? I think what he's gonna say already. See? BZ for me, daddy says, peace to the chat, Green Gang. Salute to you, sir. Coming in hot early. Let's see what else we got in the chat. HR is in the building. I don't anticipate any hurt feelings reports to be filled out, but if DB, HR is in the building. You know, HR just pops up whenever they need to be. Maybe they might be conducting an investigation from this previous Thursday. Who else we got? BZ Formally Zalia. I already got you already. AP accountability partner. It's all Green Gang. I'm highlighting. Joe Lee. What's going on? Jordan Landry. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Shout out to all my Green Gang. If you want to become part of the Green Gang, go ahead and click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat and go green. I do anticipate putting some more content out there for you guys. I got some stuff in the chamber that I will be dropping. So stay tuned for that. So how the show is going to go, we are going to be combing through that Brittany Renner's interview. We're going to be combing through it. I've been seeing videos and everybody been breaking it down. B-Man had no idea, so he's been out of the loop, but I brought him up to speed somewhat. He was surprised.
Definitely did.
Many of us was. I know Shan was surprised. Shan looked like he anticipated. It wasn't news to him. When he seen it, he said, oh, well, that figures. Look who it was. So we're gonna go ahead and break it down. I think it's important to start from the beginning so we can kind of build it up to see how it went. I did comb through it, the whole entire thing, and I picked out certain things that came up. So we'll break that down. And let's go ahead and get to it. Again, family, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And the first thing that I wanted to bring up was she was asked the question, were you the villain? Were you the villain? So I'm going to go ahead and play a little snippet of that. And then we're going to go ahead and start to break it down.
You became the villain.
Well,
were you the villain for a while?
I just didn't give a fuck because at the end of the day, you guys are gonna sit here and talk about winning and losing, and it's as if it was just that simple.
And it's not.
No, let her go. Let her go. I want to hear what she got.
Because the reality is that I'm a hopeful romantic. I left my child's father for the 89th time. That he's a liar and a cheater. Okay, that's the only reason I left. It's just that simple. But for some reason, in the world that we live in today, I am painted as a gold digger, a man eater, all these different things because I chose myself. Because I didn't want my son to grow up and be an asshole and disrespect women. That's it. Like I wish there was more to this story. I loved him. I thought that was my guy. I'm the only one who's going to talk bad about him up here. If anybody is going to be me. We're not doing that. So that's just where it's at. Like people took a narrative and I just didn't give a fuck to clear it up. For what? Because it's at the end of the day, you guys are sitting here saying, well, I saw these videos. I saw this. You already had your mind made up. And
I did.
Absolutely.
I was on your side from day one.
But you implied that like you were saying that, oh, she tricked a sucker. Like you call my baby daddy a sucker. No, he's not. We were in a relationship.
Well, you have to understand, we don't have the whole story. We only have.
Well, then why have a fucking opinion about my shit?
Because we're humans and you guys are considered celebrities at the time when we get the information. So most poor people, most non-famous people sit around all day long with opinions about celebrities. That's
All right, let's go ahead and just get a few thoughts about that. I guess we see it every day on the internet, right? People only get a glimpse of us. They don't get a glimpse of celebrities, and then regular folks, they just comment about it. It's what we're doing right now, right? Regular folks, and we comment on what they appear to be celebrity status. But I thought it was important. I mean, there were some things that kind of stood out for me as far as when she was discussing it. Anything surprise you guys? Is it the same old story? Is it what you guys imagined and thought when it comes to her background? Go ahead, Sweeney.
She said, all right, I disagree with Charleston White when he said that we don't know the whole story. We do know the whole story because she told us the whole story. In fact, one of the things she just said was that he was a liar and a cheat. That wasn't what she called him the first time. She said that he wanted to do things the way he was going to do it, and she couldn't get him to change. And she wanted to do things the way she wanted to do it, and they just didn't work out. She didn't, you know what I mean? He wanted to have multiple women. He was cool with taking care of and all of that, but he was going to do his thing, and she wasn't trying to rock with that. That's the reason why she said that she left him. She told us the whole story. She's jumped up from podcast to podcast to podcast, telling us her whole entire life story. And she's going to sit here and pretend like we don't know what to assume about her. Whether she's the villain or not is neither here nor there. You made yourself the villain.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Swing, the thing is, we don't know the whole story. But not to support her, I think that she's making a mistake by saying that. It's because we haven't heard his side. And the fact that she did flip-flop, it was that she wanted him to be a certain way, and he was like, no. And now suddenly he's this liar and cheater, and we broke up 87,000 times. It's like, I ain't hear that in the beginning. I heard that you wanted to be this, I heard a different version, but the only versions the only versions that we heard was hers. The only versions that we heard we never heard his version, and he's just mum about it. And that, you know what? That's dope that he's like that. I'm glad that he's not falling for the shit and going on a chitlin circuit like she is. But be that as it may, we're only hearing her side of the story. Now, the thing about Charleston is when he says stuff like, "Hey, we haven't heard the whole side. We haven't heard the whole story." I think he's talking about, well, we don't know exactly what's going on in anybody's bedroom. We don't know what's going on in yours. To your point, Sweeney, your story is bouncing around, and we haven't heard this side at all. Mm-hmm. So we only hearing you. Only time that we hear about what's going on with you is from you. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people say, why do we care about these celebrities? Me being here in Hollywood, I live in Los Angeles, for those that don't know. I tell people time and time again that in order for the general population to have a conversation, we have to have a common denominator. We have to have something that we can all relate to. I tell people all the time, we talk about celebrities because we talk through them, not about them. The reason why we bring up the Jay-Z's and the Michael Jordans, we bring up the Brittany Renners and the Steve Harveys and the Lori Harveys and the Puff Daddies and the 50 Cents and all these celebrities. We bring up Summer Walker, or we bring up Sierra, or we bring up all these different celebrities and we talk about relationship stuff, is because all we do is take a celebrity that we can all relate to and assign them to the people that's in our lives that you don't know. I got people in my life. Yeah, they're just an avatar. So it's perfectly. So for those that out there saying, why y'all bother with these celebrities? You ain't even got nothing to do with their money. Why you care about what a bunch of $1 million paid football players is kneeling on the field for? What does that have to do with you? Because we're assigning that to how they're treating us at where we work at Home Depot. Because I have a version of Brittany Renner in my neighborhood, in my family, in my community, and you have a version of Brittany Renner in your community on the other side of the country. And then when we talk about Brittany, we simply assign our people to those people. Excuse my sales. We assign those people to that. So it's perfectly okay. That's the reason why we talk about celebrities. I do not like it when people say, why are we talking about celebrities? Because if I don't talk about them, how am I going to get you to understand where I'm coming from with the people in my family?
Exactly.
That's why we use them as a centerpiece to be able to, I'm going to bring up Kanye so I can let you know the people in my life or myself that has an attitude like Kanye. And then you bring up somebody that you're dealing with in your neighborhood, like Sweeney at his barbershop or in his town, that's like a Kanye. And then we talk about Kanye to speak about who we have in our own lives. That's the only reason. So it's perfectly okay for people to talk about celebrities, but it's important that we get all sides of the story. So I think what Charleston is saying, in my opinion, and I'll pass it on, is I think he's saying, because her response was, then why do you have a fucking opinion? Well, he's right. Because that's what we do. We're human beings and we make opinions. And I'm basing my opinion on who I date, my baby mama, my wife, women and their husbands, and so on and so forth, based on your life that we can all relate to. And if we're only hearing a little bit that you've given us, then what the fuck you want us to do?
Well, my thing is about what she was saying, talking about she didn't want to be with him because she didn't want him to teach her son how to disrespect women. Yeah, what she's doing is disrespecting herself on a regular. This whole podcast, she totally disrespects herself. And so you don't think your son's gonna eventually see that one of these days? From the first time to this time? I mean, she needs to stop this shit, man. She need to stop this shit. But I'm looking forward to see Love follow along in the podcast. I only watched so much of it, but I'm gonna hold the rest of my opinions.
As a matter of fact, to add to that real quick, she talked about how she doesn't want her son to be around him to be disrespectful towards women. You've been talking for the better part of the last 2 years, slinging all types of shit about this man's father. What has he said about you? Publicly, he has not disrespected you one time, not once, but you dogged your son's father out openly.
And Sweeney, she had the nerve to say, I'm the only one up here that's going to talk shit about him.
Exactly. It's wild, bro. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, so just a couple of thoughts on this. So it's very interesting that I hear this because really what we think about her is what she said about herself. If you guys remember, she did a video. I don't know if this was a TikTok or what have you, but she did one where she talked about how NBA players and NFL players were stupid, right? So she set up, it's like she followed the baby mama blueprint and then got upset when people treated her like the baby mama from the blueprint that she followed. She got with a guy, an NBA basketball player who didn't have life experience. He got her pregnant. You know, they broke up. She filed child support, ran to social media. She followed the baby mama blueprint. And now that people are seeing that and they've attached that to her, now she wants to be the villain. But I know what it is. When women are hurt, women think that hurt justifies bad behavior. And for some reason, when their feelings get hurt or their choices don't pan out and give them the results that they want, then they go back and it's how everybody is painting them. And it's like, no, ma'am, you gave everybody the colors, the paintbrush, and the canvas. You can't be mad at the picture people have when you gave them the tools to draw you from based off of what they see. So I think that's what we see in this case. People have a narrative that she created.
She's her own worst enemy. Unfortunately, she's her own worst enemy, and she created her avatar villain herself from the very beginning. We all paid very close attention to when Brittany first came on the scene, what was she talking about mainly? What type of spaces was she in? What type of people she was aligned to, right? She was always around the rappers and the ball players and the celebrities, right? And one of the things that she always talked about was how stupid some of these guys are and how easy it is to come off these guys. And if she wanted to, this is what she would do. And she laid out a blueprint. She went from podcast to podcast to radio show talking about this, right? So you've already kind of coutured this sort of insight about you in your mindset. And people gravitated towards that. And as time went on, people started to kind of paintbrush on top of everything that you put on social media, where you talked about the experiences that you've had with these said named individuals, right? And that has created this narrative about you. Even when she was dating PJ Tucker, a lot of people were like, she was kind of redshirting the kid when he was young, right? Because she was at the games and, you know, it just seemed like she was kind of plotting on him, right? And she really thought that she could kind of convince this young man into a serious monogamous relationship, right? Well, she never been in a serious monogamous relationship. She's been riding the cock carousel for the last better part of a decade. And she hasn't self-improved. Not even from that interview with KS that she did. You know, she didn't take much from that. At first she did, but then slowly she kind of gravitated back towards what she knew best. And this is the part that it strikes me weird. And I really want to speak to the masses about this. How could you participate in the non-monogamous culture year after year, decade after decade, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you flip the switch on and you want a monogamous relationship from somebody, from one man? How does that work? I cannot wake up tomorrow and want to enter into the Olympics and want to participate in the 400 run. I haven't done any of the work to prepare myself or even be qualified. And so she wants a specific sort of outcome for her life. But unfortunately, she's already created this monster that she no longer controls. Everybody out here in the social media space controls that narrative. That's all I got.
You know, what's really interesting to me is, you know, just kind of piggybacking on Luis a little bit. She is her worst enemy. She is the villain of this story because, again, she has been going from podcast to podcast, telling her story, or at least telling multiple versions of the story that have varied in every situation. Just to make her look good in the situation. I mean, I remember not too long ago when she was on podcast talking about that, you know, she won't submit. She won't submit. She can't submit. You know, she can't really, you know, she says she attempted that lifestyle, but she just can't. And the other thing about it is that dude, she got dude when he was fresh into the league. I mean, like, what was he, like 19 years old, 20 years old when she got with him? I mean, fresh into the league, just got his big check. And she's, you know, quite a few years older than him too. So I feel like she was definitely plotting on him by far. Like I mean, just if for people that don't know, you know, everybody that's been keeping up with Brittany Renner these past few years, and then when she got with him, everybody looked at him like he was Bozo the Clown. They're like, wow, you're galling her up? Really? Her? Of all the women out here, you getting the one who's giving the playbook to all the women on how to be a rich baby mama. You're galling the one who's out here bragging about all the dudes she's been with. You know, all the rappers, all the ball players, all the celebrities. Like, that's the one you choose to gal. And yet she does have a lot of, you know, blue checks in her DMs and whatnot on the regular. But I mean, clearly that's just for one thing. No one wants to really court her. No one wants to really be with her. And she admitted that when she was on, you know, Kevin Samuels' podcast. She was on there with a few other people. I know she was on one of the podcasts with Andrew Tate and those guys. And she made it sound like she was a changed woman. Like she was, you know, looking at the world from a different perspective, eyes wide open. You know, she even sat down with Deion Sanders and his team when he was at Jackson State University and gave them the playbook on how not to get got by these women out here. A lot of the tricks and the hoes that are trying to get them for their money, and put them in a bad space, in a bad place. So it just sounded like she was turning a corner, but then, you know, Old Faithful just came out, you know, with all the craziness and the twerking and all the other things we're going to see soon. So, yeah.
You know something, as you were saying that, it made me think about this. Like for legal people of legal age, is like older women want younger men because younger men can be manipulated. Older men want younger women because younger women can be molded. It's a very interesting dynamic, because for men who have not experienced life, Brittany Renner, whether we like to admit it or not, she's pretty to look at. She's a pretty thing to look at. But for men who've got experience, you realize it's something that comes with this pretty, and that's called crazy. And I think that's what happened. She wanted to lock down a young, impressionable young man who didn't have experience. She wanted to lock him down without herself actually wanting to be locked down, because older women get younger men who can be manipulated. Older men get younger women because they can be molded. It's a difference, and I think we see that here.
All right. Purple, you got something to add on to it? No pressure if you do.
Not really. Everybody kind of said the in general thing about Brittany Renner. I mean, everybody knew this was going to happen, so it's just kind of funny that it even happened in my eyes. You know, like, this is a clown world. You know, we just, in America, we have a front seat to it. You know, it's awesome.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna finish combing through, and again, everybody don't have to speak because I do want to get through the video. You know, we can always do it on the back end if it's something else you want to add. So just kind of keep it brief, and let's calm through it for the audience and for the people that's on the panel as well. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is King Talk. Again, shout out to the sponsor, T.H. Hanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 30% off along with a free gift. And shout out to the Danza Project, which is the podcast that Charleston White and Brittany Renner. Thank you for providing this content for us to be able to react to. So make sure you guys get them a follow and make sure you support them as well over there. Now let's go ahead and go back to our regular scheduled program. Let me bring this video back up. Here we go. Let's comb through it. This right here, what I'm about to play is Charleston says this is her life. For him, it's his character.
Is what the eye-popping moment is for a lot of people to have both of you in the same room.
For her, it's her life. For me, it's a character, right? So I came to be hated. I came to be misunderstood. We're looking at her life. So it's something totally different. You see what I'm saying? I came to get everything that I'm getting.
Right.
All the hate. So I signed up. She didn't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You have somewhat of a scapegoat.
So this what made me dig deeper into her. When Deion Sanders took her to go talk to those college boys.
All right. So let me go ahead and bring this up. Charleston said this is her life. For him, it's his character. So even though everybody may look at Charleston White and say he may have some of the similar problems, it's different for him because he created this. This is her life. So she's put it out there that way. Let's go ahead and get a few comments about that.
What's there to say? Charleston, he said, I came here to shake shit up. That's just what he do. You know, he came to he's, you know, I hate everybody is what his character. And so, you know, he's just, but I'm glad he's there to ask her questions and to get people to open up and talk about things that they otherwise wouldn't talk about. I'm wondering, did she know that he was going to be there? But we'll see.
Charleston White is wrong on that too. She's doing the same exact thing he's doing. She a character this is her character as well. She created this entire narrative, like Shannon just said. She built this narrative around herself. She went online and talked about how you can bag a dumbass basketball player. She created all of this herself. So she's playing the very same character. The difference between her and him is that he may not have lived it in his personal life, but they both created these online personas.
You know what? I think that I think you're right, Sweeney. She definitely did create an online persona. Definitely. The difference between Charleston and Brittany Renner is that Charleston can kind of like point to, I didn't really live this life. You know, this is clearly, you know, fabricated and manufactured. You know, I'm doing this for laughs, shits, giggles, and hate. With her, you can't really separate the two too much. Like, yes, she's putting on for the cameras, but I don't think anybody's really seen the real true Brittany Renner because she keeps that hidden and deep in the dark place because, you know, she's got a lot of issues. She's got a lot of things that she has to unpack, and, you know, she's got a lot going on. You know, the fact she puts on the show talking about it's stepdaddy season and the different things that she puts on. That's the face that she puts on, but you can't really separate her life though, because this is her actual life. So that's the other side. This may not be who she is, you know, deep down inside, but this is definitely her life. And she's been the one jumping on couch to couch, bed to bed, and microphone to microphone, talking about it. So
pause, be better. Pause. That was that sound like a description, but I think it's this. So if Charleston White, if he did the same thing that Brittany Renner is doing, we could separate character from the person. The real underlying truth here is that she's a woman, and once you cast yourself out as a woman who's for the streets, is as soon as you do that, it's no longer a character. This is who you are. And in the world of social media, you don't get a chance to run from that. So I think Charleston White is speaking not only the truth in that interview, but I think on a deeper level between men and women, there were certain things that if a woman does, it follows her forever. Like you guys see what's came out about Marjorie Harvey, like the stuff in her past. You know what I mean? All that stuff at some point for a woman, it comes back up to bite you later. And I think that that's what Brittany Renner was doing. So even if this is not a character, she set herself up that even if it's not her real life, from the perspective of people online and in the world, it is her life, and we see her as such.
Sir Hell, we talking about Marjorie Harvey's like past or present? I'm confused.
Yes.
Let me stop.
Bruh.
No, that's funny.
Anybody else want to add anything on to
this? Is that too soon? People love Steve Harvey. Is that too soon?
Just a bit.
Okay.
All right. Perfect Pill, you want to add anything on this?
Nah, not really.
All right, just let me know, Perfect Pill, when you're ready. All right, y'all. Y'all just tuned in. Welcome to King Talk. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're gonna continue to comb through this. We did have a super chat, I believe, that came through. Now, Sir Hell became a member, man. Shout out to you, Sir Hell, for becoming a member, man. Shout out to you. Salute. With that being said, let's go ahead and get to it. Feel a tease too, you guys. Click that tease link that's in the description. Bring the video back up. This one right here is she was asked, has becoming a mother softened you? Has becoming a mother softened you?
There's two sides to that coin that I think most people overlook.
Speaking of, would you say becoming a mother has softened you?
Yeah, there was a time where my son was maybe like a few weeks old and I was about to change him and he's just helplessly like kicking his arms and his legs. And I'm not going to lie, I've been the biggest man hater. You know, I have been a loud and proud man hater on social media. And when I saw my son in this vulnerable state, I'm like, this is where all men start. Like this cute little innocent baby. So it really made me look at men a lot differently. And because of having a baby and having a son specifically, it made me like also look at the men that I have wronged in my life. Like I've given a few apologies since my son was born, you know? So yeah, seeing a baby like that. And like I said, a baby boy, it just makes you look at men a lot differently.
Yeah. That's what my daughter did. That's what my daughter did for me. Yeah. I was a riding low down dirty motherfucker before that little girl got here. Shit, boy, I ain't bullshit, boy. But now.
All right, go ahead and get to it. And you guys said that she didn't really care about the men, but she's showcasing that she does. She has a change of heart now to her son.
Yeah,
she was asked that becoming a mother soften you. Go ahead, Luis.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for her to say that in hindsight now that she is a mother to a young boy, but would she still feel the same way if she had a daughter instead? Would she still feel like she would be a man hater if she had a daughter? And I think that, yeah, I think that she would still be a bigger man hater if she had a daughter, because she would then project her experiences through the lens of her daughter. Like, this is what my daughter is going to face in the future and stuff like that. Obviously, when you have a son and you're looking at it through the lens, like, yes, he's young, he's vulnerable. The way she kind of broke it down was exactly that. But how could you walk in the world outside and have resentment for men when you yourself are a mother to a young boy who will become a young man one day, right? So it makes her kind of like sit with herself and think about it on a deeper level. So I don't know if it's really softened her, but I think it's pulled the big mirror right to her face. And I think that, you know, where she's at this moment in life, and, you know, especially people who go through these transitions, they really haven't done any kind of like work or have talked to anybody in a professional capacity to kind of unpack why they feel certain type of way, why they think the way that they do. Nobody stops to really challenge themselves. Like, how did I get here, really? Right? Because men didn't wake up one day and just treated you the way that you were treated or perceived, right? You put out a certain aura, a certain energy, and a certain behavior that attracted a certain type of low vibrational caliber of men, and you've gotten the results that you've got, right? You wanted what you wanted, and at the end of the day, you got what you received. And unfortunately, she's only saying this to show face. She's come to the realization that I can't harbor these feelings because my son is going to get older and walk into the world, and he's going to replay some of these old videos, or people going to put these videos right into his young face and be like, look, this is what your mother used to think. This is what
Louise, let me ask you a question on your point. Isn't that what kids are supposed to do? When you have a child, son or daughter, isn't having that kid supposed to change your perspective?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. But for her, it seems like I said again, I think she's had a come to Jesus moment, but I don't think she's fully has gone through that threshold yet. I don't think she's fully crossed over, because it's only she feels that way now, but I think over time she'll let it go. But that's why I made the comment. I don't think that she's really has unpacked this sort of hatred and contentment for men, right? And until she does that, she'll still harbor it a little bit. Although she's,
I think she's.
I'm sorry. This is how I look at it, man. This is how I look at it. Is this, Louise? She said in the video, you know, after she had her son, you know, she had to give out a couple apologies here and there. I think she needs to give the biggest apology to her son, is what she needs to do, because she is showing her ass at all times, at all moments. And her son is going to be so embarrassed when he becomes of age, when he gets older, when he becomes a preteen, teenager, and he's able to YouTube things, he's able to Google things, and he's able to see his mama's ass on TV. When he's able to see his mom showing her ass on TV and wilding out and talk about man hating and this and that, and he's got to ask his mommy, why do you hate men? I'm gonna be a man one day. Do you hate me? Like it's going. She messing that kid's head up already. Like the fact that she had a son, you know, is great for perspective for her, but at the same time, I mean, she's got a long way to go. She's got a long way to go. Maybe 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you know, she might slow down a little bit. She might change up a little bit, you know, here and there, but there's no way to hide all of this past that's right here and what she's telling the world.
This is the modern day Freaknik. This is the modern day Freaknik. This is
lives her life like that
the
every day.
remix version, right? Where content doesn't go away. It's not on a VHS tape on somebody's top shelf, you know, with the squeegee markers, you know, 97, 95, right? This stuff is here to stay. And we have never lived through this time period. We are in the present moment of things that are evolving for the first time, right? These experiences where, you know, young mothers or young parents have gone through this sort of in-your-face social media presence and have done a bunch of things that will make their child in the future be resentful of them, or have other young kids bully them and show them, like this one video. I don't know, it was a video that I saw the other day that was shared about a young boy who unfortunately deleted himself because a bunch of kids were showing him and sending him videos of his mom when she was on OF, right? And sort of that is the culture that is coming up. They find this stuff, they realize it, and then they send it to the other kids. That is the new form of
when her son grows up, he's gonna be the butt of every joke around all of his
every single joke.
Period. I mean, it's the same thing, you know. Gosh, I was just talking about her. What's the bald-headed girl's name again? Amber Rose.
Amber, yeah.
Same thing with her son. She's turning her son into a feminist. You know, like it's crazy. He's gonna get made fun of. Like he lives in a little bubble right now because they're wealthy. But her and Wiz's son, but he's gonna get it if he ain't already getting it bad already. She needs to apologize to her son now because he's gonna be screwed up.
Well, let me ask you gentlemen a question. Let me ask you guys a question, and I want to be sure on what your perspective is. It sounds like because she has a bad character as a woman, then this is true of her motherhood. Are you guys suggesting that because she's a bad woman, that she's not a good, that she's also a bad mom as well? Or is it possible for her to be like a terrible person and still be soft as a mother and want to be a good mother for her son?
I mean, if you're a shit person, you're a shit person. It's kind of hard to, yeah. If it smells like shit, looks like shit, you know, you step on it, it's shit on the bottom of your shoes. What else could it be?
I think,
yeah, but it's kind of hard to do that when you sit there and say you're an admitted man hater. So how are you going to be a good parent with a son that you're an admitted man hater? Look, she still hates him.
She can love him as much as she wants.
I don't give a damn what she's saying. She still hates men.
But
she still hates men, and I think she's still burnt by the men who categorize her as a hoe. Well, guess what? Every man who categorizes a hoe, they did right, because that's what you are. You are a hoe. So they should have categorized your ass as such. You a hoe. You got treated like a hoe. You got moved around like a hoe. You went from couch to couch like a hoe. So why are you mad at them? Be mad at yourself. You allowed that to happen. You the one went over and did that. You the one got pregnant. You the one got moved on. Now you mad because he's doing his thing. He done signed a 3-year contract, and you probably gonna get a portion of it. You know what I'm saying? You mad because these guys treated you like the hoe you are. Stop acting like a hoe. You won't get treated like a hoe. Don't hate the men for doing that.
Oh, Hank, don't be too hard on him, man. She's just a hopeless romantic.
I know shit. I know.
She's a hopeless romantic. She's a what?
What man in his right mind who's going to engage her? You know,
Well, that's what she said. That's what she said.
That's who's gonna get with her ass. She gonna get with a goddamn pimp. That's the only thing want to get with her. She's goddamn.
When I was watching it, she said she was a hopeless romantic. So
she a hoe.
What's my man from the Boondock, a pimp named Slickback? That's who's gonna get with her.
You know, I'm sure she'll be a well-meaning mother. I'm sure she will be. But just because you're a woman and you're able to reproduce doesn't make you motherly. It just makes you a female that carried a child. That doesn't mean you can raise them up good. You can probably maintain a child. You can clothe them, feed them, you know, all that good stuff. Watch them grow. That doesn't mean that you're going to mother them up, rear them up, and raise them up to be the young man they need to be.
All right. Before I move on, I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna ask the purple pill. Do you think any of this things that's going on with her right now potentially hurt her in a future custody battle?
Yeah, I think that a lot of stuff will bite her in the ass for sure. I think that that's already happened a few times because when she did past interviews over the last year, she definitely complained about she couldn't say a lot during the interviews because it was going to hurt her and getting her money. So yeah, I think that she's going to make herself look really dumb. All this stuff always comes back and bites you in the ass in a divorce. Anybody that's ever been through a divorce, or not divorce, but just any type of custody issues, you know that everything reflects on you. So I don't know why she's doing this. I bet it's because she's probably getting to that point of like no hope about everything. I think that she's a huge misandrist, and even though she says that, like, you know, God sent her a boy for a reason, but she's the type of person where it's not going to make a difference. It's like she's still going to hate men for the rest of her life.
Is she going through a custody battle?
No, I said
not custody, but like how much money she gets or whatever.
Child support.
I thought that was already settled. Yeah, I figured no.
There's got to be child support.
Yeah, I don't think this I don't think this is gonna hurt her at all because I don't think he's gonna go after custody for his child.
It's gonna be one of those. He really hates her.
It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those situations.
Why would he not go after custody? Do you hear the way she talks? She sit there and said she's an admitted man hater. Even if she's a former man hater, she still has that mindset in there. She still thinks about it. She still ponders about it.
I guess we can say the same thing about Wiz, because I mean, it doesn't seem like, you know, he has too much of an influence on that side either. So I just think some men,
you know, we don't know the whole story on that side. I don't know how often they get their sons or whatever. You know, we don't really know that because it's not really publicized because these men aren't making it into a show. You know, only she's doing that and Amber does that. So we don't know what these men are doing. So I can't really speak on that. How often they get their sons, but they are going to be needed in a vital way.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it in a sense that we know how most of this normally turn out. More than likely, what's going to happen is her son going to become a handful for her. She's going to turn into that girl on TikTok who says she don't want to be a mom no more, and she's going to send him to PJ Walker. That's how you're going to get PJ Washington. That's how you're going to get custody. She going to give him up. Because, like Purple Pill said, she's a misandrist. And her son did not change her the way that she's trying to portray herself out to be. Because when her son grows up and he starts thinking like a man and he starts having the same feelings as a man and things like that, she's going to say, I need to send you to your dad. But most of the time in these type of scenarios, men don't tend to get custody of their kids till they hit puberty. And they start smelling themselves a little bit. As of right now, because I'm sure that she's...
Yeah, that's when it's too late.
Yep, most
Yep.
of the time.
Problem. I mean, we saw it in the movie Boys. What was it? Was it Boys in the Hood?
Boys in
Yeah,
the
it was
Hood.
Boys in the
Boys in
Hood.
the Hood.
I was just thinking
Boys in the
about
Hood.
that.
When
Mhm.
Trey went home, when Trey went to go live with his dad, and you know what I'm saying. So the issue is that, like she said, when she looked at her son and he was there and he was just helpless, and that is when men, that's what they start off as she says. But the argument that a lot of us have is these dudes that a lot of women are complaining about was created by these women that are complaining about it. The problem is the first 5. So my sons, I have 2. For those that don't know, me and my ex-wife, great friends, business partners. We talk about everything, even our relationships, everything. But we raised our sons together. My oldest son has just turned 8. My youngest son is 5. One thing that was important that I talked to her about before we got our divorce was that the first 5 matters. Every child psychologist has said this. The personality, the temperament, a child's attitude, how they're going to view the world is typically created in the first 5 years of birth. And so how, if a father is there or not there, how he's treated or not treated, how he's dressed or not dressed, who's yelling around, who's around the house yelling, how often the parent is there, all of those things is being processed and calculated to form that baby's personality. So the issue with men coming around eventually, when she can't handle him, when he's in the streets and it's too late, and little Timmy or little Johnny or little Poo Poo or Cool or whatever fucking ghetto name you want to give these boys wants to go stay with dad, is because she can't handle it. But the first 5 was already established where she could handle them. See, the women can handle the 5-year-old. They can handle the toddlers. But that's where she programmed all the bullshit in him. And so the father essentially is the cleanup guy and has to do his best to try to unprogram and rewrite everything that she wrote inside of that boy. You know, you guys talking about Amber Rose, you know, is Wiz going to have to try to somehow reprogram his son later on when it matters? That's why 50 Cent with his son Sire, he wanted to be around as much as he possibly can because he knew his older son, it was too late. It's nothing. He had to learn that the hard way with Marquise, his oldest son, because his mother programmed him. It didn't matter that 50 wanted to throw him a business and give him that $200,000 worth of shoe company and start all this stuff. The mom had already programmed him. So giving you a mother giving the son to the father when he's 14, 12, 16, at that point, it's just like, what you giving me, you know, where's my influence and will it stick? Now, he's still young and it's still impressionable, you know, he's still coming of age, but it's so much harder for a man to try to remold his son after he's been indoctrinated by his mother and all her bullshit, essentially, for the first, you know, decade of his life. And that's why it's really important that men, if you're going to have a kid, do whatever you can, at least to be there for the first 5 years of your child's life, because that's where the personality is going to get created. And that's where your influence matters more than even when they're in their teenage years.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and continue to comb through this. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. In this conversation, I talked a little bit about astrology. So came up, well, I let my horoscope dictate my moral compass. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip.
What are you classifying yourself as an average person?
No, I mean, I'm a Leo, but you know, I'm calm. I'm cool.
Also,
well, you're not calm, but okay.
I can't be, but the thing is, will I let my horoscope dictate my moral compass?
Ooh.
My general demeanor and how I carry myself, that's one thing. I'm cocky, I'm confident. I was born in the summer, like he said. Okay, I can see the similarities, but am I gonna let that affect how I choose to navigate life? I'm a Taurus, so I'm allowed to be hard-headed, and I'm a Gemini, I'm allowed to flip the coin whenever, you know what I'm saying? Am I gonna let that?
I think a lot of people adapt to what they see.
But the thing is that nobody is saying that there should be excuses made for certain.
I want y'all to pay attention to, you know, see that glass that's in our hand. That glass is in our hand the entire night. Everybody's drinking. Charleston's he's really not a drinker, but you know, he's just doing it just to be social, right? But that cup that's in her hand, just pay attention on the clips.
Zodiacs. That's to me, that's like whoosh. The point is like over your head at that point. At the end of the day, astrology, anything like that, moon, stars, whatever, it's to help you understand yourself. It's that's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. It's not to justify behavior. So any person that's trying to justify why I do this because I'm X, then they're a fucking idiot.
If you read the story of Christ, it highlights his birth having to do something with the stars and all of that stuff, the time you're born, the season you're born. That has a lot to do with that has a lot to do with who you become.
Are you drinking?
I've been
drinking.
I've been drinking.
No.
You even open it.
Hey, I think.
All right. Well, I let my horoscope dictate my moral compass. I'm not really sure if you guys are into astrology, but when you got to spend too much time on it, I just want to throw it in there. What do you guys' thoughts about it?
Hell no, man. That shit's just chick crack, man. Girls just fall for that stuff because they don't want to take accountability for anything. That's the only point of any type of shit like this. They don't want to take accountability. Horoscopes give you a perfect reason to not take accountability. And if you're a dude and you want to get some easy box, man, just bring up the chick crack. Just bring up, their horoscope bullshit. Say you're really into it. Yeah, it's easy lay right there, guys.
You know what? For the first time, I actually agree with Brittany Renner on this one. When it comes to, astrology and your signs and all that kind of stuff, it's literally there and made for you to understand who you are as a person. It's supposed to give you some level of context when it comes to your personality, when it comes to certain behavioral traits and whatnot. It should be used as a guide. It should never be used as an excuse. It shouldn't be used as, oh, I act like this because I'm a Taurus or because I'm a Leo or because I'm a Gemini. No, your ass is lazy as hell. Or no, you just don't feel like taking accountability. Or you sleep late just because, you're a clown, whatever. You don't want to work or whatever. But no, it's strictly for self-help and to understand yourself better, and for other people to understand your personality a little bit better as well. I'm a big believer in it. I mean, it's real. It's a guide is what it's for. Anything more than that, maybe compatibilities when it comes to dating, and you talk about how people's, who might be more compatible with the other person based off of certain character traits might be one thing, but that's really about it.
I can't take her seriously. Let's be 100% honest about this. Everybody is a philosopher behind a microphone. Everybody's a philosopher. You give them a microphone, they have the answers and the ancient knowledge that has been wrapped away, hidden behind vaults. Everybody's a philosopher. It's interesting. So, when people get a microphone, they can say the most intelligent things, and then you go back and look at their behavior. I'm a villain. Everybody treats me like a villain. I can't understand this. But on a podcast, it's like in one instance, here goes the intelligence. And then on something else, it's like everybody's a philosopher with the microphone. And I can't take what she's saying seriously because she can't understand why people see her the way she does. I can't take her seriously. What she said is right. I can't take her seriously.
Hey, Sir Hell, you want to take another shot? Let's take another shot. Who's taking a shot? You drinking? Open up your drink. Who's drinking? Take another shot.
Man, y'all know what drinking. Y'all know what drinking leads to, man. We about to see it on this damn show right now.
That's them dang on Sagittarius, man. That's what they do, Sweeney.
This is oh man, people in these zodiacs, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not into zodiacs themselves, but they do. If you read it, there are some things. But I mean, I just find it ironic. Women and men, particularly on podcasts, will say the right stuff. When it's convenient, though, you will hear, well, I am an Aquarius, and us Aquariuses right? Again, behind the microphone is like you ask them a good question, and it's like in this culture, we condition ourselves to give good responses, even if our life doesn't match what's coming out of our mouth. And I think in this case, that it's an instance of that. Is a good question, great answer. It don't match the way you live. I think that's what I see with Brittany Renner.
I've never once in my life said, well, you know, I'm a Leo, so you know how us Leos are. I've never said that.
Oh, really?
In my life. As a matter of fact, have y'all ever been in like those Facebook groups where they always bring up like different zodiacs? Have y'all ever looked up the zodiac, like looked up specific zodiacs, and you find out that every time somebody posts about a zodiac, they say the same shit they said about the last zodiac? Or whatever month you in, there's a group of zodiacs that everybody love, and there's a group of zodiacs everybody hate, and that shit changes from month to month. That's why that shit is bullshit.
You got to be careful, Sweeney. Like them Zodiacs gonna come for you. So
man, look, they can kiss my ass.
You gotta be careful.
And they keep adding different caveats to it to try to make it make sense. Oh, well, you know, you're a fire Taurus and not a water Taurus, and you're a ground this and not that. And when you was born on this day, the sun was at that point, and now you got to do like they come up with all these different caveats to try to make the shit make sense. Like,
hey, Sweeney, what's your sign?
Huh?
So what's your sign again?
I'm a Leo.
Okay. Anybody got anything to add on
that? Kind of makes sense, though.
It does.
Oh man, y'all can't make this shit up.
We're gonna go ahead and keep combing through. I did want to bring up some things. So as I was watching this and combing through, they were given. Let me see. During this broadcast, they have been giving them their flowers, Charleston and Brittany Renner, saying that they were educated, that they were very similar. Brittany Renner did add that she was raised by a grandmother. She played soccer almost her entire life. She was an athlete. And she said she was raised by white people. And then she got a reality check when she went to an all-black school. I forget if it was high school or college, but
I think she went to Jackson State. Lapeef.
Yeah. Okay, well, that makes sense. And when she went there is when she got a reality check. So just a little background that they was describing now. Charleston White, they come up and said one woman can't completely satisfy all of a man's needs. So I do want to play the clip to that, and I'll get you guys' thoughts on it. So Charleston White says one woman can't completely satisfy all of a man's needs. Hit the like button, family. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, shout out to the Danza Project for giving us this content. All right, here we go. Did I add it on there yet? Oh, not yet.
I don't believe one. I don't believe one woman can completely satisfy all of a man's needs. That's why some men watch porn. That's why they go to the strip club. That's why they don't come home straight after work. I think that's why most niggas spend time with their friends, their homeboys, because the woman who they're with only satisfied a portion of their needs and their desires. So that's why many men cheat.
Mind if I interject for 1 second?
Nah, go ahead.
I believe that the main reason that occurs is in relationships, a lot of relationships, especially when it comes to when it comes to women, they're afraid to allow a man to live their life, right? And but on the same note,
I was raised to believe
that. Go for it. But at the same time, you see that with a lot of men with their women, and we restrict. A lot of couples restrict one another from being who they truly are. You got to remember, the most often when you meet, I'm 38 now. I met my girl when I was 34, right? I already am a lot who I am.
Okay.
Right? I'm well into my life. She's well into her life, right? She was 23. And we are, I'm a 30. I'm a
What's the age gap?
11 11 years.
Okay, I hope they drag you for being a groomer too.
Yeah, hey, shit, come and drag me. I like them. Come and drag me. But it's like, for me, it's like a lot of people don't understand that. You want to, if anything, what you really want to do is push that individual into being more who they are instead of taking it away from them. I feel like a lot of men like to cheat because of that. And they feel scared, and they don't communicate that well. I don't think men communicate that shit that well.
All right, Charleston White says one woman can't completely satisfy all of a man's needs. I'm go ahead and get your thoughts about it. Seeing come off the mic, Purple Pill.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that one woman can satisfy a guy, but there is one caveat to this. If you have a woman that's really down for you and she's willing to do whatever it takes sexually, like she's always available for you, she's never holding it against you. The problem is women today use sex as leverage in the relationship. So as soon as they start using sex as leverage in the relationship, that's whenever he's going to want to go and seek other places. So I just really think that as soon as like we can solve this issue just teaching women, stop playing games and using sex as leverage in the relationship. I think a lot of couples counseling could fix this issue, and we wouldn't have to have a lot of guys cheating. I think Charleston is right though. Like guys are going to probably use pornography though. There's a stat that says like 60 or 70% of Christians that are married also watch pornography or something like that. So I just really think that, I don't think that a woman can ever satisfy a guy's need for, what's the word, a variety. But I definitely think that you can curve that natural instinct that we've had forever. Like I said, by the woman being a good wife, that we're using sex as leverage, always wanting to try new things. But then also not getting onto him probably about pornography and stuff because it's not that big of a deal if he rarely does it.
So Purple Pill, then you're saying a woman can fulfill all a man's needs, just that women today don't do it.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes. Okay. I mean, some women do. I'm sure some people have good wives who do it, but not everybody.
I'm about to say, because I don't agree with Charleston White. I believe that one woman can supply all a man's womanly needs. I'm gonna still need a network of men and so on and so forth. Women can't do that no matter how you slice it. But for everything that a man needs a woman for, I think one woman, I personally, and I understand the polygamy is nature and all that. I get all. I personally believe that one woman could supply one man with all his womanly needs, the things that a man in America 2023 needs in a woman. Where are you gonna find those at? Where you gonna find where they make that model? Is that model still in production? Is it, is that an extra? Do you have to come? What you got to do to get that out? How do you unlock that fucking secret code of that video game? I don't know. But I think women have the capability to do that. Will they do that today? That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I'll continue that model.
I was just about to say the same thing, Shane. I think one woman is more than capable of providing all a man's womanly needs. Whether she wants to or not is the problem. A lot of women aren't willing to. That's where, the situation becomes an issue. Men are far more simple than we like. Pouring a satisfied dude real quick to where he can go back to his woman and be like, all right, and still look at her ass the same way that he looked at her yesterday. It's like we're not that sexually where we like, oh man, I gotta have a bouncing off the ceiling on the wall over here. Got to do that. Got to do. Well, man, look, we simple. We're not that complicated when it comes to the
for yourself, Swinny. I need my wife swinging from the chandelier. Swing from the ceiling fan, girlfriend.
All right, break your chandelier if you want to. Then you're gonna be paying for a brand new chandelier because you want to do some crazy shit. I got insurance.
What about hanging from the shower? What about hanging from the shower like Mimi Faust? Hanging in the shower. How about that?
We far more. I hear y'all, but
some days you want something different. Is all I'm saying, Sweeney. That's all I'm saying.
But the thing is like we get that, but we're not that type. What I'm saying is like we're not the type where we like, oh, I need you to do this every single day, all day, we're not those. Like we may want to do some crazy shit every now and again. Like, hey, can we try that swing from the chandelier shit but like to sit here and act as if men are just Absolutely. Oh man, ain't no way possible that a woman can do everything, do the things that we need her to do to the degree in which they try to make it seem is just unrealistic. We're not that complicated.
You know something? There's the flip side of what you're saying. I 100% agree with what you just said, but there's a flip side. Like sometimes you can have the right woman who will do everything, but sometimes as a man, you might go through a phase where you no longer want her to do it for you. That's a real thing that a lot of men deal with, particularly if either you've accelerated in your life or you've become a different kind of man. Sometimes you want it, but from someone else. So it's interesting. Proverbs 5:19 or 5:9, something says, it talks about how to let her breast always satisfy you, like to be ravished by her love. Is like the Proverbs is commanding men if you have a woman to let her breast satisfy you. I say that to say a lot of men, we deal with lust. And this is a topic we don't talk about too often, even in the context of marriage. Like we lust, we want what we want. We like beautiful women. And depending on what environment you're in, you want what you see, particularly if what you're around that's not a mirror of what you got at home. Right. So if you're at home, your wife is more domesticated or your girl more domesticated, she's not really flashy, she ain't really popping like that. And you are around other women who she carrying around luggage. You know what I mean? I mean, toes always nice, hair looking good, flawless. Well, as a man, you're gonna look for that, right? And so it's important that you don't allow what you could have to make you not appreciate what you actually do have just because the package might not be what you want it to be. So I think what you said is true, but we got to let her satisfy us too. Yep.
I got a solution for that. Turn off the lights, change the wig, change the perfume. New woman. There you go.
I don't care.
There you go. Brand new woman. She done changed her hair, changed her perfume, turn off the damn lights. Shit.
I don't think that's what he meant by turn off the lights and light a candle, Sweeney. I don't think that's what he meant by that.
Nope. That's exactly what his ass meant.
Nope.
Shout out to Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh man.
That's pussy for you right there.
You know what? I think I think it's definitely possible that a woman could fulfill your needs and whatnot. But a lot of that depends on, kind of where you are in life when you find your woman. That depends on what status you are in life. It depends on if you're still climbing the ladder. It depends on, what. No one person is that perfect person. There's caveats to everything. You might be in a place in your life to where, I need to find a wife. I need to find someone who's going to raise my children and do a phenomenal job at that. I need someone who's loving, who's caring, who's, nurturing and all the things. I need someone that's going to raise my kids up right. Feed them good, cook good, all that kind of stuff. And you get that. And she's a phenomenal mother. She's caring, she's loving, all the things.
Yeah, sir.
But does that mean she's going to be the freak that's going to be hanging on the chandelier for you? I don't know. She might be a little more modest because she's at the house all the time, homeschooling your kids. Is she the one that's going to show her ankles? She going to show a little thigh for you? I don't know. So sometimes men want something a little different, that can satisfy a different need, a different woman need, a different cardinal need that's inside of them. So everybody's a little different. Or you might be able to find your total package. You might find the one that got a little freaky, mixed in with a little bit of loving, mixed in with a little bit of fun, mixed in with sugar and spice and everything nice. With a tad bit of toxicity, a drop or two. That keeps it interesting, Or you might get you want to argue a lot. Now you want one that's more quiet and meek and mild, that don't challenge you all the time, that gives you a good peace of mind and all that kind of stuff too. So it's hard. Can one woman do it? Yes, it's possible. Yes, one woman could. The right woman for you and only for you as an individual.
I'm not going to be
for the
mad at you.
Most part, no.
It sounds like you were describing different zodiac signs of what you just said. I ain't gonna lie, like I can't get that out of my head now that JR brought that up. It's like you were describing zodiac signs and how women are about the arguments and giving you different stuff.
I went all the way around the zodiac. I went all the way around.
Here's the
thing.
But
I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm a Gemini. You know, I have duality here, so I'm always looking for both sides.
But me, Madden. So
what up?
What you said is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at all the men on the panel, we were asked to write down the different array of skill sets and abilities that you have. I am pretty confident that all of us here will write at least 6 to 10 of them.
All I know to do is cut hair.
You know,
that's all I'm doing.
I think we are men based on the conversations that we've had over a series of months. I have gathered that a lot of you men have different skill sets, different abilities, and you could do more than one, and you show up in many facets, right? I don't want to reduce women to only be able to do only one thing or another. I don't believe there's a one-trick pony. I think that it takes time. I think that it takes the man to kind of show these things and unlock these things that are hidden. I think it's in them. You just have to have the right master key to unlock them, you know, and show them that type of experience, you know, to bring that out of them, right? Sometimes you're not going to get things like right up front, right? I think there is a little bit of a mystique with the, you know, understanding your woman, getting to know your woman, and exploring that in a deeper manner. And I think that a lot of dudes expect that up front without having the more deeper conversation around like sex, intimacy, and expectations.
I think it's the reverse. I don't think men hope to get it, but expect to get it. I think women expect to get it up front, and men stay in a relationship long because they hope to eventually get it. So if they do X, Y, Z, follow off the check boxes and stuff, then they hope to get it. But I think the expectation, that word, I think women expect it all up front.
No, Sir Hell, I agree with what you're saying. I think women normally do want to get it all up front, and there are a lot of men that wait on the back end for the prize at the end. But those are certain guys. I think other kind of guys, you know, they want to know what you're working with. They want to know what it is. And if they can see a spark or a little bit of potential, then they feel like, okay, I can work with that. I can expound upon that. I can teach you a few things. We can make this work, you know, because at the end of the day, the man is supposed to lead. So you got to lead by example. You got to show her, teach her your ways. I ain't worried about how you used to do things with the last person. This is how I like my shit done. This is how my household works, and this is how my bedroom works. Period.
I will say this though. I will say this though. Life is about choices and trade-offs. So you may have chose your woman because she did certain things in this particular area that you needed her to be. That may have been a trade-off that you don't get the woman that swings from the chandelier. That's the trade-off. You didn't get the super freak. You went and got the woman that can be a great mother and a great supportive wife and all of that. So, like, we have to also understand that, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? We all want it all to some degree. That don't mean you're supposed to have it all. You make a choice and you stick with that choice for whatever you decided to choose.
All right, JR, we need to have a real conversation. Brother Shan, I'm invoking your wisdom. Sir Shan, I need your help on this one. It is my belief that if a man gets with a woman, even the most conservative women, if a man knows what he's doing, he can get her to do whatever he wants her to do. Shan, am I off in my assessment?
No. By nature, we've evolved over thousands of years to have that relationship and to be able to. You can get women to change religion and politics. It happens all the time. And in fact, you'll notice if some of the guys, if you guys think about some of the women, they start sounding like you and talking like you, using your innuendos and your speech. It rarely does a guy conform to the mannerisms of his girl. Generally, women conform to the mannerisms of her man, if the relationship is right. You know, if you ain't got, if it's a standard relationship, I'm talking about a standard relationship. So yeah, absolutely, Sir.
And I bring that up because a lot of times we say men got to trade off certain things, and when it comes to sex and when it comes to a man's core needs, like I don't want men going into the marriage feeling like, well, I'm not going to get this. I think with the right woman, with the right training and the right loving, you can get her to take care of your needs. I 100% believe in that.
Hold on, sir. Why don't you come to the resident heathen?
You said who?
You can't expect me to take you seriously.
All right. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. Let's make sure we hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Got a super chat come through from Brother Ricky. What's going on? Ricky Williams. Y'all make sure y'all give him a follow. Peace to my bros. Y'all Shannon, Hink, Sweeney, and Mr. Hell. Hell for a soup on the midnight. You pimping. Question mark. He asked you if you pimping.
What up, Rick? What up, Rick?
Yeah, it's good to see you in the house, Rick. Let's go ahead and keep combing through it, man. I think we're getting close to the part. I'm trying to figure out how to play this because I can't play all of it. I just can't. I think it's a little bit much. But once we end the stream, I will play it for the guys in the back, so you guys can see it. So I'll try to get through as much as I can. But I did notice a few things that I do wanted to highlight, and I told y'all to pay attention to the glass. So the glass was definitely in her hand. And there were some moments leading up to this before it actually happened. So let me go ahead and bring this screen back up again. Let's make sure we mute up. I think that might be you, Hank. Make sure we mute up. And I'm going to call through this moment. So in my notes, I say, they did a toast. They had a toast to drinks. I'm going to use the word tweaking. I'm going to call it a tweaking moment, drunken moment. Tweaking is what we use in Chicago when somebody just tripping. So I just learned by speaking to somebody else that they didn't know what tweaking was. I also noticed too that let me bring the camera back up. So she had some cookies in her hand and she had some pretzels in her hand. She picked both of them at the same time and she was holding them like this. And she was biting off one of them, biting off the other. So I'm like, damn, she got the munchies too. So it's like she had a lot of substance or something was going on extra in her body throughout this time. And I'm not saying I partake in that behavior, so I don't know what that is, but I have been around people that did exhibit those traits. So it might have been some green goods in there as well, mixed with the alcohol. But let me go ahead and bring up this moment.
Before you play it real quick, JR.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this. The thing that dude said in the last clip that we just watched is exactly the reason why she started behaving the way that she behaved when we get to that point. Because the way that dude was talking sounds exactly like the type of motherfucker that'll let her get away with that on this show.
Okay. So similar to Drink Champs, they did a lot of toasting. Like a lot of them. Might have been 3 or 4, 5 of them or something like that. So let me go ahead and play this.
Father, right? Like dad, you know what I mean? And salud, shit, hold up. Let's get this.
Oh,
Charleston, I thought you were
Charleston just
drinker.
babysitting. He just playing.
Salud. Shout out to y'all.
I'm a social drinker, but peer pressure is a motherfucker.
Listen, I was
peer pressure, guys.
my father.
All right, so that was one of them. Let me skip to the 103 mark right here. You guys hear me okay? You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, and the video still playing.
Yeah.
103, 13. So this is a tweaking moment, I call.
Like to her. With pretzels and Chips Ahoy
Accurate every
time. You sure you don't smoke weed?
I love Charleston White.
So you said you love polarizer figures.
Mm-hmm. How about it?
I can't do this. I can't do this today. So you obviously you're eating snacks. What do you got to say about what's happening? Because you're a woman, and when you said RAPE.
All right, so that was a moment, and then I'm gonna go to this 106 right here. It's another drunken moment. Let's see, 106.39. There, right here.
What I gotta say, if y'all had to hear it, imagine if we made the kind of music that I'm saying toward y'all, because y'all are allowing these guys to make the exact same music toward us.
Hey, listen.
Bitch, suck my dick. Ho, fuck. Nigga, we ain't got no more every song. Bitch, suck my dick. Bitch, shoot you, chuck you, make your friend kiss your sister. Come on, we gonna do all the women like this?
Come on.
Come on, homie.
Right.
Hey.
So I mean, as you can see, she getting a little bit loose. She's definitely getting loose. Let me go to the 108.34 mark. 34. So we'll play it here. And they toast again.
Hurt people, but I'm not out hurting people.
Salute.
I'm trying to deliver a
True
message.
love.
Yeah.
True love.
So
Charleston White is not drinking.
Do I want us to go to
No,
war?
he's not. He's not a drinker.
But man,
Yeah, he's not drinking.
Push a narrative to say, oh.
Yeah, it's just I mean, you know what he's doing. Let me go here. So this is let me see, 140 mark. 40 mark.
She heard me say, so my mother's not on the internet, so it's real easy for me. My daughter hear those things.
Right.
But
holy shit.
Gator,
yeah, that's a big motherfucker.
Ginger ale.
Oh yeah. I did see him pour that ginger ale.
Out of this
Yeah.
Mr. California.
Another toast.
Clank. So
They said Charles to put his drink back down again, right?
Put his drink right back down.
My daughter hears me.
So let me skip to the 147 mark. And she was asked, how do you size a man? How do you size up a man when he meets you? How do you size up a man when he meets you? So let me go ahead and play this one.
Hey, sir, 101. You just got told about yourself.
Yeah,
what was the question?
The question was, how do you size up a man when you meet him?
For me, I care about character. I care about a man's curiosity about life. I care about a man's honesty. I care about his integrity, what he stands for, his principles, all that. So for me, it's like whatever his beliefs are or what his beliefs are, but who is he as a man? So that's why I'm saying why I don't really disagree with what he's saying. Like I hear him and I may not agree, but I still hear him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm not making any fucking sense.
You are.
But I am. But I am. It's just like I can hear what I can hear.
It's just like when you bring a man home and they say, girl, what do we do for a living? They don't tell you nothing about who he is.
It doesn't. And I'm sorry. I feel like for me, when it comes to men, I like men who tell the truth, who sling the iron.
Hello.
And that's just what it is. A man who can protect me and a man who is honest no matter what I want to hear. So that's why for me, I think that Charleston and I, we naturally just get along because at the end of the day, he's going to tell you the truth. I think that's what all women we want is a man who's going to tell us the truth.
Baby, do I look fat in this dress? Yeah, you know you look fat in that motherfucker. Baby, why you fucking me about that? Yeah.
And that's what it's about. You want someone who's going to tell you the truth no matter what, no matter how it hurts, you know? So I don't know. I just feel like for me, I don't really have much to disagree with him about. Obviously.
All right. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and talk about that. So she was asked, how do you size up a man when you meet him? I heard character, and then she like somebody not to slang that. I heard Sweeney over there laughing. Go ahead, Sweeney. What are your thoughts about that, man?
She is full of shit.
Thank you.
I believe the second thing she said when she said, "I like a man that can slang pipe." That's what she signed. That's how she sized up a man. All the other shit she said before, that was just for the podcast. That's the same old talking point. That's the same answer everybody gives when they get put on the spot and they get asked, "Well, what do you look for in a man?" "Oh, I look for honesty and character." No, you don't. No, you don't. And we all know it. Because if you look for honesty and character, like you just said you did, ain't no way in hell you be looking at Charleston White talking about something. Yep, that's the type. That's why I rock with somebody like that. Come on, man.
Well, not only that, Sweeney, why, if that's what you're looking for, why do you expect you're going to get it in a 20-year-old young man?
That too.
I mean, why would you expect you're going to get all of that, what she asked for, in a 20-year-old young man? No. But you know what you're going to get? You're going to get some good stiff dick. And that's exactly what she wanted. That's what she really decides a man up for. Like you said, it was the second. It wasn't the first. A 20-year-old man, he's not going to be all those things you're looking for. He ain't seen yet. He ain't lived life long enough yet. Some of that shit he has no idea about. He's still learning to try to be those things. But you want to get with him, not for that, because he got the money and he could, have some type of protection for you because of his money, and he's going to give you some good dick. That's not all you're looking for that 20-year-old young man for. And that's what you got now. You're a baby mama, and you a recurring hoe.
It's as simple as that. Like, it's... Oh, my
I found
God.
everything that she said was a bit contradictory, man. I mean, I agree, but like she talked about character. Let's just start there. Up to this point, based on every video that JR has shown us about the interview, nothing about it shines character. No quality or virtue that would virtue signal to tell me that this is a quality woman in any capacity. From the way you dress, from the way you conduct yourself, your behavior, your mannerisms, everything. None of that oozes that character. So I don't understand why character is so important. I don't need to have character. Me, Brittany Renner, does not need to have character. But the man that I want, he needs to have character. I don't have character, but the man that I want needs to have character. I just want these things that are on this list. I don't even qualify for any of those things because I don't even adhere to those things that I want. I don't practice any of those things that I'm preaching about, right? And you can kind of almost trace that same sentiment with a lot of the videos and a lot of the conversations that we've had in the past about what women talk about, what they want. There's what women think that they want. There's what women believe that they want. And there's what women respond to. And the reason why she said, Charleston White is the type of dude that she wants, is because that's the type of man she's always attracted her entire life. If she wanted a man that had character, she would have been off the market a long, long time ago. Even before she had her child. I would even make the argument, even after she had her child, she still could have probably found a dude that had character. But that's not what she's attracted to. That just sounds good because society tells you that. But instinctively and inherently, she don't give a fuck about that. She cares about the things that she vividly expressed after having a few drinks, right? Because it's truth serum. People are gonna, in that moment of truth, people are gonna show you who they are. And people are gonna show you what they're about. And that's exactly what happened. So that's all I got.
So are you saying that that's not what she wants? Even so all the stuff she listed, is your point that she just said stuff and she really don't want that, and you can tell based off of who she's been with? Is that your point?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's possible that she does want the best of men, even though that's not what she puts herself in position to get?
No, she has not put. Okay, Line up all the men that she has either dated or been with, and tell me how many of those men have character. What's their stance? What's their position? What is their character trait? Right? They might be in a certain limelight, but why is character brought to the forefront? Why did you lead with that? Right? And then I also challenge the position like, okay, why does this person have to have character, but yet you don't? And why do you fail to exhibit that? And I stand on the preferences that I think society, it sounds good. But if you really, really ask people what they really, really want, it's not the same thing that comes out of their mouth. What sounds good and what is expressed are two different things.
Yeah, most definitely. It is. JR, I really like that hat you got on, bro. Like, you might want to send that to Brittany Renner, because everything she just said was cap. Big cap. Because everything she said about honesty and, you know, a man's character, that's all I heard was, that's all I saw was this. I saw her lips moving, but it wasn't hitting home. Ideally, every woman wants that. Ideally, every woman wants a nice guy who's going to be honest to them no matter what, who's going to love them through all of their imperfections and all of their bullshit that they bring to the table, and blase, blase, blase. Sounded good, but kind of like what Luis was saying, line up all the dudes she been with. Line up all the athletes, line up all the rappers, line up all those dudes. Do you think she sized them up by their honesty and by their word and all of the wonderful things that they do and their great personalities and all that good stuff? No.
Actually, I would say
not at all.
I would say that she did. You remember the stories that she's told. Colin Kaepernick was one of them. She told a story about how he told her, "Hey, you got to pay for your own flights to come to me." Fact. He was honest. She talked about Chris Brown. Chris Brown, arguably one of the most honest people we done seen when it comes to women. PJ Washington, she even said herself. PJ Washington told her, "Hey, look, I ain't that type of dude. You can either do this or we can forget about this whole thing." What did she do? Then she started complaining about it. She's been getting honesty. The problem is that she's who she is.
Well, the thing is, Sweeney,
yeah, but she gets all of that after the fact. That's after the fact, Sweeney.
Yeah,
like she's not establishing the relationship based on that.
Right. No, that I agree with.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what Matt is
key.
saying.
That I agree with.
The key.
She
and you know what, Sweeney?
She didn't go after them because they were honest, man. That's just what she got from them.
Right. And the thing is, they might be honest and all that, and I think we're putting too much credit on the honesty. I think they were just treating her like a hoe.
That's exactly what they were doing.
And she liked being treated as such. She's like, "Oh, you're treating me like who I actually am, and I appreciate you being real and not trying to, you know, sweet talk me and whisper empty nothings into my ear and us lie about who I am and what this arrangement is. Thank you, I appreciate that. So if you're gonna smack me on the ass and tell me to get my own tickets and all that, my own flights, then by golly, I'll do it because that's who I am." They're treating her accordingly. So don't be fooled by that. And yes, she looking at Colin Kaepernick, she looking him up and down and trying to figure out how he can rearrange
her insides.
All that.
That you can spend his $200
and every other dude subsequent from there. And with PJ Washington, you can't tell me so you did with all these dudes, but yet you settle on the youngest, most naive guy. Like, now I want to settle down. Now I want to be wifey. Now I'm ready for my soft girl era. Now I'm ready for, you know, all the wonderful monogamous things now.
That, you know, it's crazy though. She thought getting with PJ Washington at 18, he was gonna be that 18. She thought he was gonna be the one that wifed her.
And got knocked up quick.
And was not going to be like all the other men. What she found out was here's the problem. Here's where a lot of people make the mistake. These ball players that make it to the league have been popular in their cities their entire lives. So he, even though he may have wifed her by, getting with, I don't even think they got married. Even though he might have knocked her up and everything like that, he's more than likely had his fair share of Virginia. He ain't had no shortage of that. And what she found out after she got with him was that he sat there, looked at her in her face and said, "Hey, look, I'm an NBA player. I'm gonna get mine. So either you get with it or get gone." And she got upset, and that's when she ditched him because she found out that he couldn't be played either. She couldn't play him into that.
She played him at first, but she realized she couldn't maintain the game with him. She couldn't maintain it with him. Too many folks that came to him and said, "Bro, what you doing? PJ, wake up." He sat down and watched King Talk is what happened. He sat down, watched King Talk, got some game, and he's like, "Dang, I'm tripping. Maybe I got to do something about this one over here. I got to switch it up." That's all that is.
Yeah, there you go. Let me go ahead and finish combing through this. So now we're about to really start getting reckless, and I got to be selective on how I play some of this stuff. Let's bring up that.
They fuck up relationships or whatever happens in relationships. People don't want them to succeed. PJ just got an amazing contract. How does that make you feel as a woman knowing that's your baby father? What is your first view on that?
Honestly, I want my child's father to win.
Exactly.
It's just what it is. And regardless of what people say, I believe he deserves whatever he feels he's worthy of. So, whatever that contract looks like, that's what it looks like. And I didn't have a child. I had a second-degree tear. You know what that looks like?
I'm gonna say
Hello?
say no. I'm gonna say no for all of us.
Is everybody fucking listening?
Say no.
Yeah,
Hello?
your
A second-degree tear. You know what that looks like?
I mean, that boy was that big when you had him.
He was, I think it was 8.1.5.
That means she had a big baby.
Almost 9 pounds, right?
Another NBA player.
Does that matter to you? Does that matter to you? Who had such a motherfucking opinion about me?
Wait,
Does
time
that
out.
matter?
It's group. My opinion changed, but
Answer the motherfucking question.
No, it didn't initially. No, hell no.
Okay, I had a second-degree tear. That means they sewed me up.
Yeah, okay.
Right. You know what that means? That means I love that motherfucker. My pussy was fucking split open for him.
Right.
You understand that? You lost 9 pounds.
Big boy.
Okay.
Gratefully, I had a 5-pound baby.
Good for you.
Yeah,
My baby was almost 9 pounds.
All right, let me calm through. I'm getting a little nervous, man, because she threw a leg up one time. Let me see. 157. Skip here.
Be bought.
Alcohol.
They think that it's just about money. It's just whatever. It's the highest bidder. I believe in true love.
Hello.
I heard her say that, but
I said it 100 fucking times.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, listen now. Listen
to what I'm fucking saying. Shut the fuck up when a real bitch is talking.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shout out to character.
Take the room.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, ma'am. Here we go.
Because I'm a real fucking bitch. You hear what I'm saying?
Talk.
And I care. And I'm a hopeful romantic. But I can't control. At the end of the day.
You heard her say the hopeless romantic, be mad?
She went from hopeless to hopeful.
Yeah, I heard that
Try
bullshit.
to force something that wasn't mine. That wasn't my person. And that's okay. He's sitting over there motherfucking. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, shit.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up when I'm talking.
That's peripheral.
Shut up.
That's peripheral.
Seriously, shut the fuck up when I'm talking. Because if you ever felt real love to where you have a motherfucking second-degree tear, hello?
Wait.
He didn't mean it.
Hello?
He didn't mean it.
Shit.
Hello? You don't know what it's fucking like.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry. I meant to hit this nigga.
Wrong guy.
Let me tell you something.
Wrong guy,
Shut the fuck up. This right here is about to go. Let me tell you something.
We good.
Shut up. When I'm
So I don't know if you caught her, but it's like she's about to ready to say this is about to go viral. Did y'all catch that?
That's why.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Why,
and it did. It did.
That's why Kevin. I mean, that's why Sweeney said she's still in character, or somebody said.
Yeah. It kind of makes you wonder if she did all this. If she did all this on purpose, or maybe she was under the influence.
She's definitely under the influence.
She didn't do this on purpose, but this is a part of her character. She's been doing this. She does ever since she discovered that what people were looking at when she was doing her soccer videos, she's been coming up with thing after thing after thing to stay relevant. This is just another one of her antics. She tried to do the whole Corinne Steffens superhead route where she tried to do the tell-all book. That shit didn't work as well as she thought it would. And then she's been bouncing from podcast to podcast, and then she tried to do the soft girl era shit, and that shit didn't work. You know what I mean? When she jumped on Pearlie's show and tried to portray this, and now she's about to be a demon out here. This is gonna be her persona for the next 3 to 4 months, and we're gonna see this shit from her. And then that's not gonna work as well as she thinks she is. And when we're gonna see a different Brittany Renner in about 6 months. Like, this is what she does.
I'm fucking
I think
talking.
you have a point.
Yo, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I meant to hit that nigga. Because you sitting over here laughing.
Chill. Relax.
I ain't chilling.
Relax.
Because at the end of the day,
clowns,
it ain't your pussy. Hey, listen. I hear you. Hey, listen, that's fine. But guess what? You protecting him is what it is. Is it not? Is it not? Is it not?
She hit the wrong nigga.
Hey, don't be sitting over there laughing. Let me tell you, I ain't talking to you. I ain't talking to him right here. I ain't talking about then bat me in my shit then.
Chap, she cool.
Bat me in my shit.
Apologies, Chap.
Bat me in my.
All right. So she going back and forth with it's not a security, but I guess where that boxer guy is, I don't know who he is that he's with.
They need to have Champ. They need Champ to chill too in the back. He all
Yeah. Champ getting really emotional right now when he's talking to this woman. This woman is she's clearly belligerent. Like, you gotta have more, you gotta be on your frame, my man. Like, Champ gotta sit his ass down.
Yeah,
fuck all that. You don't throw no damn bottle at me and expect me to sit down. And
be... I get all that, but
this is entertainment.
Yeah.
You don't need to be on set on reality.
You ain't about to be arguing with no woman like that either, though. Yeah.
All right. So after watching that, I heard her about to ready to say this gonna go viral. She didn't say the whole word, but then I looked at this shoot. This one made me realize that she was really drunk. Peep how her arm slipped off the chair.
Hey, what's up? What we doing, Charleston?
I'm reading all that shit on her. Shit, I got into the comments.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
straight slipped off. Yeah,
slipped off.
She lit.
Yeah, she's definitely lit. Now let me where we at? 201. Can she get a little bit?
You know what, Sweeney? She might be putting on a little bit of persona, but at the same time, like, this is drunk Brittany. Like, she is liquored up, and I also think that she has been rewarded for so long for her bad behavior that I think she's too far gone. I don't think she even can reel herself back in. I think she's been rewarded too many times for bad behavior and wilding out and acting crazy that this is just second nature to her. And with her being liquored up, this is the real Brittany.
Messy.
Yeah.
Sloppy. She's a slut, lush. This is lush Brittany right here.
So, gentlemen, from what I see, this is her. Like, when we're talking about why she can't get certain men, like, this is it. Like, this is the part that men who have character, who've got morals, who tell the truth. Like, see, she talks about what she wants, but what she wants have standards. And this is that version. This is what makes men look at an attractive woman like she is and say the headache is not worth the pretty. It is not worth it. So when I see this, whether this is character or not, whether this is acting or not, for what she says she wants to come on to a podcast that she knows is going to be is going to go out. People are going to see it, to get hurt, to get drunk live, to cuss, to literally assault somebody. This is who she is. And I think B. Madden hit the nail on the head. She's been rewarded for being this for so long that I don't know if she can pull herself back in. Like what society has done is we've rewarded her bad behavior, and she's incentivized to keep it going. And she's so cold with it that she can tell you what's going to go viral before it does, and it does. That's how long she's been at it. So I think this is who she is. I don't think that this is an act. And I think this speaks to why she can't get the men that she wants to have.
Can we talk about the fact that
she won't get the man that she's looking for? Look at the way like I said earlier, she will continue to get the 20-minute man who's going to give her 20 minutes and send on back to the streets. She's not going to get no solid man or good man, what she described she wanted in her first description of what she's looking for, man. There's no way. She's going to get a man who's going to continue to put her in a whole category and treat her as such. So I'll keep you around for maybe 2 or 3 months, use you and abuse you, and Uber you back to the streets. That's the type of man she's going to get. And it's going to continue to be like that because she continues to put this bullshit at her. This is her. This is who she is.
Here's my point.
Can we also hold on tight, y'all. Let me come through a little bit of this, and then we can. I ain't gonna play too much more of this, but
okay.
She get a little bit aggressive right here.
What did I do to you? You didn't do nothing to that man. That man almost stands 7 feet tall. You didn't do nothing.
What you gonna do to me? To me, bat me in my shit and knock me the fuck out?
No, ma'am.
What you want me to do?
We're not those kind of guys.
What you want me to do? Because I can't take you on.
Relax,
So what you talking about?
But you had the wrong man.
So what you talking about? I could never take you on. So what are you talking about?
Check me out.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
Check me out, Britt.
Listen,
She did.
listen. I'm not acting.
All right, so let me go to 207. Something happened. 207.
To make peace. At the end of the day,
We do need me to make peace because I do want it to, I do want it to be a civil conversation, a good conversation.
listen, be quiet.
Oh my God.
Quiet.
But you're telling me to be quiet
Be
like I'm some
quiet.
little boy.
At the end of the
You know
day,
what I'm saying? I'm not a little
talking to
boy.
him.
I understand that, but I'm trying to make sure that everything is good. This ain't working.
All is truly well.
It is.
All is truly well. So I'm good. But at the end of the
All right, so the host trying to tell her to be quiet, and see, he said he's not no little boy.
Oh, now you want to try to draw a line. When it was the other dude on the back end of that, y'all let her get away with this shit.
I think she went.
All right, that's it.
Okay, she went to the restroom, and now she went to the restroom, and then I'm getting a little nervous about what's about to be shown. Let me see, 213. I think she.
It ain't what we shooting for. You know what I mean?
Isn't that
Miss Ma'am?
Are they in the bait?
No,
Miss
come on,
Ma'am.
please. Come on, man, please. No? Come on,
I
man,
need you
please.
I need you to be kind and respectful.
Hold on, let me.
That pussy was right in his face.
Mm-hmm.
He looking at it with that one eye.
You see him hold back like.
You know that shit was stanky.
Hey, not only that, he moved the whole microphone too. He said, "No, man, no, man, hey, get the microphone out of the way. No,
and then
man,
he set
no,
himself
don't
up
do
too.
this."
He got his legs up too. He set himself up good too. To have a
Yeah, he
sturdy
said, "No,
base for her to
man."
sit on too.
Yeah,
A sturdy base for her to sit down on.
moved the microphone out of the way so it don't get in the way of doing what she needs to do. Yeah, I know it. He didn't really want it, but he wanted it.
Hey, but can we talk about real fast? Can we talk about this woman here who is challenging? I mean, outright challenging the masculinity of a former, boxing champion, Shannon Briggs. Like, what's up with that? Like, she's so far out there. She's not even talking noise to a boxing champion, but and he's not even on the show. He's in the background, and she's literally chugging water bottles at this grown man who's a champion, talking shit to him, challenging him. I mean, how far gone do we have to be here? I mean, this is embarrassing, and this type of behavior is not only what make our sisters look bad, but also this type of behavior is what is being systemic in a lot of the music that we listen to on other YouTube and in the culture right now, that it's okay for women to challenge men, physically, to challenge men in a way that puts women that are already in a natural disadvantage, but you're putting yourself in a bad position.
All right, so here's she also tossed the water onto one of the hosts.
Wait a minute. I did nothing for that.
Oh, that's wait a minute. Miss Renner.
All right, chill. There's a lot of equipment in here. Why'd you get water poured on you?
We saw stuff.
What I miss?
For behaving. That's
not for nothing. I'm gonna.
Whoa, it was just getting good, Jay. What's going on? It was just getting good.
I think I'm gonna stop it there, man.
Look, not for nothing. Look, alcohol doesn't change people. It only reveals what they already are, right? That's what I'm gonna say about Brittany. But the other part I'm gonna speak about too is the host, the podcast, and how no man there had a single backbone to be like, look, you can't come on our platform. You can't come in our space and act up. It's good that you lose, you're feeling good. We can accommodate you, X, Y, and Z. But for you to be disrespectful, absolutely not. For you to act up, absolutely not. For you to ruin the quality of the content that we're trying to create, absolutely not. Nobody had a backbone there. Nobody drew a line that was non-negotiable, right? I come onto this platform and I speak and I share with all you gentlemen. There's a level of decorum that is understood among all of us, right? In order to make this conversation keep going and create good content. No man on there laid the law. None of them cut the cameras or were like, hey, this is not what we're going to accept. This is not what we're going to do. They just let her run amok. And sort of their audience and everybody who else sees this, they're like, well, they're not going to say anything to these women. They're not going to step in and be vocal about it. So I guess this is the norm. This is the new norm, right? But that can't be it. You got to step. Somebody's got to say something to call that bullshit out, especially when it's on your platform. To allow a guest to come on and act stupid like that.
And this is why I roll with the old boy going back and forth with her in the back, because none of them fools decided to say anything. He shouldn't even have to have gone back and forth with her. As soon as she started acting a fool, they should have shut the cameras off, and sat there and told her, hey, look, you behaving like that ain't going. We ain't going for that. But all in the name of content.
Ain't nobody check shit. Then nobody checked shit in that room. And that's what was messed up. Then nobody let their nuts hang at all. Then nobody have a backbone. Nobody checked anybody in the room. All they said, all right, Chip, calm down, Chimp. Yeah, all right, Chimp. But yes, she was the guest, but I know Myron on Fresh and Fit wouldn't let that shit go, fly at all. There's a whole bunch of people that wouldn't let that fly at all.
If it was going at somebody else other than Myron and Fresh, he would have let that shit slide too, all in the name of content. He would have let
not
her
with the water flying, not messing up.
If she was going at like one of them, that blue haired dude, if she was going at him, cussing him out, and she threw water on them, Fresh and Fit would have let that shit slide. Now she did it to Fresh and Fit, they would have done something about it. But because if she was going at somebody else like that, they would have let that shit slide. They do it all the time.
Yeah, but
As
the only
long as
person
it
They should did
that
something.
was holding her accountable is Shannon Briggs. He's the only one who was saying something to her. He's the only one who was right. He said, "You drunk. You goddamn piss head. You need to be sitting your ass down or drinking water, trying to get sober and act like you got some goddamn sense." He's the only one. Everybody else, what did they do? What did they always do? A woman acts belligerent, they go try to calm the man down. But he has a right to be upset. Man just got a water bottle through at his ass. So why are you trying to calm him down? How about you try to escort this heifer up out the building? That's what should have been done. Instead, it was just the opposite. They continue to allow her to speak, talk crazy, then try to mute her, shut her down, put out, take her somewhere, calm her down, and then bring her back in. None of that happened. They said,
but
hey, Shannon, come on, man. Come on, champ. No, get that heifer up out of here. Calm her drunk ass down, get her right, get her a cup of coffee or something, and then bring her back. But no, they again, like you said, they want to do for content. Hey, do what it is.
Because he didn't want to say
Hey,
that.
they had to get that money though. They had to get that money. So
Until she
that's the most downloaded freaking thing now.
Listen.
Go ahead, Shane. Go OG triple OG. What's up?
Listen. I hear what y'all saying, but you guys understand. Listen, have you ever seen the movie Gladiator?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever seen that? That's the OG movie, man. One of the best movies in the world. Came out.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
When Maximus asked, he said, "Win the people, you'll win your freedom." He was trying to figure out, I'm enslaved. He was the general of the Roman army at one point. Ended up becoming a slave. Became a gladiator. And he was like, and his slave owner told him, he said, "Man, if you win the people, you win your freedom." So he went out there, he cut motherfuckers' head off with the double sword. He was killing motherfuckers. He made a spectacle of it, and then looked at the crowd because everybody was like, "What the fuck just happened?" He said, "Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?" Then threw the sword at everybody, and then as he walked off, Maximus, Maximus, Maximus. The whole idea, the whole Frank Castle thing with Fresh and Fit, is because they're basically saying, "Are you not entertained? We kicked these chicks off the show because you guys want to see that." And they were the #1 super chat channel on YouTube. #1, bringing in $10,000 to $20,000 a week when they were monetized. So when you guys saying they should have cut the cameras and did all of that, are you kidding me? I told you guys about a couple months ago on the show that there was a newspaper that opened up in the Bay Area about 15 years ago that said we're going to only post and report positive news, because news like CNN, MSNBC, all these news channels, all Fox, all we hear is negative. All people want to hear is negative news. It's always something bad happening, something going bad in society, but we never hear the positivity. And that newspaper lasted 9 months. It went out of business. Nobody bought the paper because nobody was interested in hearing positivity. Well-behaved women seldomly make history. You guys ever heard that phrase?
Yeah.
A lot of people attribute that to Marilyn Monroe, but she wasn't the one that said it. Marilyn said something like, "If I'd observed all the rules, I'd never got anywhere," something like that. But it was the sister Ulrich that said that well-behaved women seldomly make history. There is no reason why they would cut the cameras. And Brittany, when you guys say that's her, you got to understand something. Attention is addicting, especially to women. Women need attention. And what does Brittany have to talk about anymore? When thank God she made it to another podcast that's gonna happen. But to the guys, we're talking about, everybody's talking about this. Media man, everybody's talking about this. About what Brittany's doing. She's back in the news again.
Mm-hmm.
If she would have been nice and kind and polite and feminine and soft, it would have been a boring interview. It would have just, we wouldn't even talk about it. But because she went up there and got a little tipsy and drunk, you think that wasn't thought about? I don't know how many of you guys know a publicist. I know a few publicists. I had one myself some years ago for my production company. And the things that she would tell me to do to get popular, well, I'd be like, damn, I got to do that? I can't do that. Publicists, if you have one, will tell their clients, typically entertainers, models, actors, actresses to, you got to wear this when you go out. I know you got to do this when you go to Starbucks. You got to do that because you're falling out of the paparazzi don't want to follow you anymore. Why you have to do something because the crowd wants to see a fucking gladiator cut somebody's head off. You can't be nice, and being the philanthropist ain't gonna do it. When you're creative, when there's a term called jumping the shark in the film industry. It was created from, I don't know, if a TV show called Happy Days. I don't know if you guys ever watched that. I'm an old school nigga. So we used to watch this TV show called Happy Days. And when Happy Days, what the term jumping the shark means in film is when a TV show or its creative work has ran its basically course. You got to do something crazy. And so in this TV show, Happy Days, they had a character called Fonzie. And they had he was a motorcycle dude, and he had slick hair and all that. And in this episode, they had Fonzie riding jet skis out on the ocean with his leather jacket and some shorts, and they made him jump over a shark. And that's where the term was coined, jumping the shark. They had to have, because Happy Days got so goddamn boring, they had to have him jump a fucking shark in the 70s or 60s or whatever, just for it to be relevant again. And so as a result, a lot of people jumped the shark. When she came on this TV show, JR pointed it out. This is about to go viral. She caught herself. I bet she hates that she mentioned that, because when you guys say that's her, yeah, it probably is her. But some of it is acting, you guys. Yeah. Some of it is like, damn, nobody gives a shit about my PJ Washington story anymore. No, I have nothing else to really offer. I'm not an actress. I don't act. I'm not being hired for any movie roles. I can't sing. I'm not a model. Nobody's booking me. How the fuck am I going to get paid? Well, if I make myself relevant again, then these people will start calling me, and then I can charge 10 grand to go on their show. And so some people have to jump the shark and do something crazy so everybody can go back and say, oh, damn, she's back in the news circle again. She's back on the circuit. So, and then the show itself is saying, why would they cut the cameras? Like, let the shit roll. She's throwing bottles at fucking Shannon Briggs, and she's throwing water on me and doing all this wild shit. And she getting ready to fucking twerk on Charleston White. This is great.
Yeah.
Fucking excellent. Fucking excellent. Fuck morals. Morals don't matter. And it's not so much that the owners of the podcast don't have morals. They know, like I know, like JR knows. You guys got to understand. Think back to the early days of JR. Okay. And let's talk. And how that show, how the Thursday night show.
Don't do that, son. Shannon.
Hey, JR, we know.
That was that was the fucking Roman. That was the Coliseum. JR knows.
Yeah, people would ask me, why don't you just, first of all, I never signed to be a moderator, but at some point in time, you just let it go. These grown men can police themselves. I'm not going to sit here and try to mute somebody, but there's an entertainment aspect of it. It was organic and real. It wasn't scripted. So when things happen and pop off, it's like, let's see how it's going to play out.
Let's see how it goes. And the gladiator that stands wins the crowd.
And I have to admit, I have to admit, because I was sucked in too. I was feeling like that guy. What's that guy from Zeus name?
The guy from what?
The owner of Zeus.
Oh, the network. The network Zeus?
Yeah, Zeus Network.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know who owns it.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Plum dude, whatever his name is. But yeah, everybody hate him because he seems to keep putting out all this toxic shit. But that's what it's starting to feel like. I was just sitting here like, damn, you never know when something was gonna pop off, and everybody, it wasn't scripted. Everything would come up, and I'm watching just like y'all. I'm like, oh shit.
Cut the cameras. Ain't nobody cutting no cameras.
Damn. At one point in time, the Lapeef Network was content for everybody else, because everybody would come up on Thursdays to see what happened, and then they would react to it. It's like you never.
And then
knew
a lot of podcasters copied JR's format. They said, "Oh, they was over there writing down notes. Oh, this is what he did. Oh, okay, goddamn." You'll notice that there's a lot of shows out there that's doing exactly what JR was doing 3 years ago that nobody else was doing. But that's because JR had the Coliseum, and motherfuckers tuned in to watch people get their head cut off. And so over here now we got celebrities doing it, so to speak, or popular people will call it. And she's twerking and slipping off the chair and throwing water and shut the fuck up. My pussy was ripped. Do you understand what a second-degree tear is? And it's like, oh, so now everybody's Googling second-degree tears and everybody's turning their names back up. And then boom, here comes another $100,000 maybe, over the time. I understand that you guys, and it is organic to a degree, but let me tell you, man, Hollywood, we're good at making y'all think that shit is real that ain't. We're good. I'm not saying Charleston and her got together.
I wasn't doing that, Shan. I wasn't doing that.
I know you weren't. I know you weren't.
The way you said that, yeah. I had no idea what was going on.
You want no Hollywood magic going on, Lapeef?
Something happened.
No Hollywood dust. None of that.
Hey, like the shit was so real. That's how HR got created, because it was just so real. Like I literally had to get somebody to come in to discuss because everything was coming to me. And I couldn't take it no more. I said, I can't deal with this. Y'all talk to him. They were getting mad because they couldn't reach me and talk to me no longer because I couldn't deal with it. This was one day. I don't know if I'm gonna write a book. I don't know if I'm gonna shoot a documentary, but it was just so many things that was happening that you guys could not imagine. And I just kept quiet, but you guys would be surprised the story of the Lapeef Network. Like, you'll be surprised how everything that was going on. You have no idea. You have no idea. And I just kept my mouth closed.
That's why I agree with Shannon to a degree, because like I said, we've watched her behavior change as the wind blows. When Kevin Sanders was interviewing her, you remember right after that came the Cam Newton interview. And she was all nice and sweet and was just having a conversation. And now she's trying to and after a while, that shit started to die off, and now she's trying to do something different. She's been doing this. When the moment she found out she can get attention from her soccer videos, it's been one antic after another. She does this shit.
Jump that shark.
And I think and something that you said, Shannon, when you said that, what did you say? Well-behaved women don't.
Well-behaved women seldomly make history.
Y'all remember when she was on Just Pearly Things and Andrew Tate was on there? Do anybody really remember? The people barely even remember that she was even in a room. That's how quiet she was. They barely even remember that she was in a room. She was just sitting there like this the entire time.
People tap into that interview for Andrew, not for her. And that's bothersome to people that's addicted to attention.
Yep. Someone that was more charismatic and more magnetic than she was. So she had to sit next to his ass.
She may have said, from now on, when I leave any podcast, I will be the center of attention. That won't happen. That won't happen again. And I'm not saying that she did that. She could just be straight up drunk and just did some shit, but she drank on podcasts before. She's drank, but this is the first time. And so you got to ask, what would drive somebody to do that? And then to almost slip out the game. Oh, this is about to go. And then switch up, because you smart enough to you was sober and coherent enough to stop yourself mid-sentence, but you too sloppy to not know that you threw a bottle.
What was the name of that podcast, JR?
Shan, I think you brought an excellent point. Obviously, I agree. I agree with all your points on that one.
In the back chat,
all right.
I think she she definitely played that role, did what she needed to do, because she doesn't have a product right now. She's not selling nothing. She's not promoting anything. She doesn't have anything really going on. What PJ got a new contract. So what? Her child support about to go up?
48 million. 48 million over.
So that
3
child support
years.
bag going up. So she about to get broke off. So I mean, I don't know. She doesn't have anything going on. So this makes perfect sense, and it's perfect timing for her to be on this podcast and to think of some antics and think of some drunken, lush behavior that she can do, so the whole world would talk about her again, because she ain't got shit going on right now.
No,
48 million over 3 years. That's
PJ about to put his,
a year.
he about to put his money in his mama name. He can't be that
16 million a year. Imagine being paid $1.4 million a month for 3 years. That's what PJ just got.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's up there talking about how much she loves. You goddamn right she loves him. You goddamn right ain't nobody else gonna be up here. Yeah, think about it, man. It's all there's a method to a lot of madness, you guys, especially in entertainment. It's a trip. And it's weird to regular folks because this is like, man, what the fuck is wrong with these people in entertainment la la land? But they do some weird shit. But
Hey,
when that Monday, oh my God, 16 million.
Where's the child support order at?
46.5 million guaranteed. Oh, she ain't got to do another podcast.
Where's her child support order at? Because I think where she's at, there's a cap on child support. That's the reason why you didn't pay that much originally. Because you remember everybody came out and thought she was gonna get like 200 some thousand a month at first.
Oh,
but private. The state that she in has a cap on how much child support you're supposed to pay a month.
From what I understand, he's
16 million a year.
I don't think there is a order because he's just like, yo, he's giving her something on his own. And she don't want to make the same mistake that 50 Cent's wife did. Remember when 50 Cent was giving her $25,000 a month just on the strength? She took him to court, and then the judge dropped it to $8,000. 50 was like, all right. She's ruined. Some women are ruining their own bag. So right. by trying to go through court. So, and I think that's why we don't hear much of that. There was a rumor of the 200,000 that Brittany was getting that we heard about a year ago, and then that just died out because PJ, whoever's guiding PJ is smart. You know, he was the simp of the year last year. Everybody was talking about him, and he just sat and said, "Okay, I'm gonna just keep balling." And everybody, oh, PJ, this simp, you fucking with the pass around and all that. But he just kept balling, kept going to practice.
I don't need his name. So I didn't even know you had a contract.
Yeah,
I didn't know you had a
yes.
contract.
Whoever was guiding PJ Washington was smart, and he was smart for listening to them. So shout out to
he ain't said a damn word about a Brittany Renner since.
Yeah. Shit, I
not a word. Smart man.
Hey, gentlemen, I want y'all to check the back chat. Check the back chat. But we're gonna go ahead and bring this one to a close. You guys stick around on the panel. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to King Talk tonight. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, the breakdown was entertaining, nevertheless, but a good one. Hopefully, you learned some things. Tried to bring out a little bit of entertainment and some important dialogue tonight. So thank you. Shout out to the sponsor again, Teach Hanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 30% off along with a free gift. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and fill the Teach. They got some goodies, and trust me, it works. I use it every single day and night. I do have a regular skin routine. So with that being said, catch us next time. We are out.